into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey everybody, welcome to AfterBuzz TV, and this is The Whispers, Episode 4, Meltdown. Ooh, welcome back! We're so excited to have you. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, give us the stars, all the stars on iTunes. If you're not listening on iTunes or on YouTube, make sure you go to SoundCloud. You're obviously listening to us now, so you found us. Make sure you do the things that we love you doing. And while you're at it, if you have some time, probably now or later, we're also doing a survey. It'll take 3 minutes of your time. It's at podcast1.com. It's basically, it'll help us know what you like, what you don't like, and make sure that we can tailor our sponsors and our content to the things that interest you. So if you could do that, it would help us out a lot. Once again, it's podcast1.com. And joining me today, we have April Whisenhant.
Hi.
Where can they find you on the social medias?
Y'all can find me on Twitter and Instagram at April Whisenhant.
Awesome. Alison Dean.
Hello, I'm Alison Dean, and you can find me everywhere at the Alison Dean.
Oh, and we have a new host.
It's a new host.
Yeah, Lauren Salaun.
Woo, woo.
Hey guys, I'm so excited to be joining the panel.
I'm so happy you're here.
Where can they find you?
You can find me everywhere, all social media at Lauren Salaun. Probably right there. Right here.
Nice.
Right here.
Don't interact with the lower thirds. Cool. So, this was a really intense episode, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of answers. Well, I stuttered because I'm like, did we get lots of answers?
I was thinking about that.
Yeah,
But,
we had things happen and just more questions.
yeah.
But, it's the end of game one.
Right. It was definitely like a culminating episode. Part one, I guess,
Right.
is over, and we're starting a whole new chapter.
Whole new game.
The game is afoot.
Unless they're lying and it's not really the end of game one. I don't know. It's like, how do you can't trust drill.
That's true.
I feel like the energy ball thing that came out of the plant was like the thing that ended game one, and now it's going to be we see like in the preview, obviously going too far right now, but a new character,
Right.
so I feel like game one is over, but it's really like one big game.
It's all
Right.
building. This was the first crest
Yeah,
of
it's-
intensity, and it's
like the
going to
NBA
calm a little bit,
playoffs.
and then we're going to keep
Exactly.
going. Yeah,
For sure.
it's just the
Yeah, I don't know. But yes, okay. I'm with you all. Sure.
So, speaking of games,
Yes.
We started this episode with Henry and Minx. Henry was just
How
hanging out.
creepy was that?
It was
So creepy.
great.
And actually, what bothered me in that first opening scene was she looked directly at the photo of, Claire and
Yeah.
Henry together, and it didn't even come out of her mouth in any way like, oh, I know your mom. She was just like, your mom is lovely, or whatever she freaking said. And I was
Yeah.
like, you hate his mom. What are you
Right.
doing? I don't know. I just
like
thought,
not as pretty as my mom.
Yeah. Pretty
Real
bad.
catty.
Yeah. I feel
She's
like
catty.
Minx is clearly different than the other kids. Like Henry, they're all playing into this game, but Minx is like something is up with her. She's more than just, I forget the little girl whose mom's Harper.
Yeah.
She's more than Harper. She's more than Henry because of the way she acts and the way she's like a catalyst in
Yeah.
these other children's games.
Right.
So that's why I wonder if like something's different with her mind or what, because she just
Clearly.
has,
I'm
she
like,
is
clearly
looks-
evil.
Yeah. I don't know. The way she does her eyes, she's like,
If she'll kind of still be a factor throughout the whole series, or if she's kind of passing the baton, but I definitely think she's going to continue to be kind of a not
Ringleader?
instigator, but
Yeah.
the vessel
Yeah.
through which drill
acts.
happens. I don't know.
And we've referred to them as like the child army, and so I would qualify her as like a general or something to that effect.
Yeah.
General Minx.
Jinx.
Nice.
It works.
Jinx.
Nice.
It works.
Yeah.
It does. It sounds legit, I have to say.
Yeah. So she, being Minx, sends Henry on this scavenger hunt so that he can get what he wants, which is to meet his father.
See his father again. He's
Yes.
already met his father. It's just he wants
They've
to
never met. He left on the day he was born.
reunited, and it feels so good.
The grandmother in this situation, I'm like, I guess if a kid shows up and says, oh, hey, I'm here to play with Henry, I guess you don't really think anything of it. But also I think of the age that they are, and if I had someone coming over, my mom knew it, and like someone was going to be dropping them off. Maybe not if it's like a neighborhood kid, whatever, but the grandmother's never seen her before, so
Right.
clearly it's not normal. So I'm like, oh, okay, you're just fine with that. Like, you don't call his mom immediately, and I don't know, it's a little strange, but obviously, I guess who's going to think a little like 6-7-year-old girl is
My only thought with that is that so much is going on, and it was kind of like a last minute, like Claire's has so much going on, so she's like, I need your help sort of thing. Oops, forgot to tell you.
It was a good excuse on Henry's part. Oh, my mom probably just didn't tell you. Yeah. I'm like, good call, Henry.
Yeah. I mean, and we've established a little bit that the grandma is kind of negligent. I'm not trying to, clown or anything. I'm just saying that, like, we've seen that in previous episodes, Henry was hanging out with the TV on, and she's just like, I'm gonna let that happen, And so now she's like, oh, you want to go off with a strange kid? That sounds good. Be a kid. Go outside.
I'll make you sandwiches.
Yeah. So I mean, it's within her character.
Yeah, true.
But man, what an oversight.
And especially, we were talking about it just a few minutes ago before we started, but the scene where the grandmother walks upstairs with the sandwiches and Minx walks into the kitchen, you see her grab the knife. I'm like, this lady is dead right now. Like, Minx is out for blood.
Right.
I thought
she
I
cut her own
didn't think
finger.
she was necessarily going to stab her, but I thought she was maybe going to booby trap something or hide it strategically, like trip grandma down the stairs, follow the knife, something like that.
Yeah, I didn't think that the writers and how everything was going to play out was going to be that obvious to us that, oh yeah, she takes the knife, is going to stab grandma, But I definitely thought it was going to be more than just like, I cut myself. Like, I didn't think that was going to be the whole end of all of that. So well done.
Right.
Team.
See, that's another way that it shows how different Minx is. Because think of little kids, and when they get a cut, then they like freak out. And she takes a knife and cuts herself. So like clearly, this chick is off. I don't know. She's
determined to get whatever it is that she wants out of this deal.
Do we know what she's getting?
I
feel like we don't know what she's
mentioned
getting
it.
yet. Maybe it's something that has to do with her mom and dad, like being happy and being back together or something. But
that would make the most sense to me.
Yeah.
Although how Drill is going to manipulate that, I wonder.
I mean, maybe he's like, well, I could see him saying something to the effect of, I will get Claire back with her husband so that Wes, your father, will, love your mom again. Those are things that are going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Love. That's how it works.
Okay. All right. I mean, I support this.
Drill seems to be a connoisseur of love because it's all about like people coming together or doing something like that.
Right. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, but do we believe that Minx really does know what happened? Because I know Lena, the mom, was like, oh, she knows, what you did. But she was misinterpreting what Drill, the whole thing with Drill as some little kid was, gossip is going around the neighborhood. But really, Minx is talking about what Drill is telling her to do, not some secret about her mom and dad. So obviously she knows, like, there's tension there and things are weird. But do we know for sure that she knows there was an affair?
I believe so, yes.
Because I think it was a conversation after she said that to her mom. Like, I know what Daddy said or what he does. Okay. They had a conversation about it.
And you can also tell by the way that she was treating Claire in the last episode when Claire was trying to interrogate her.
Okay.
Yeah. She's like, I hate you.
Right. Broke up my family. So the scavenger hunt leads Henry so many weird places. So he goes to this boat. It's Black-Eyed Susan. And then he finds a wacky waving inflatable tube guy.
That's the yellow dancer.
Yeah. Me a yellow dancer. Dancers for funny. Anyway, so then...
It should be karaoke hour.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be more appropriate for how we're all feeling, obviously.
I've already sang a few songs so far.
Probably won't be the last.
No.
But ultimately, it leads him to the power plant. And he has to go into tubes and stuff, and he's eventually found, and things happen. Which I won't say for later. But his scavenger hunt is over once he reaches the X.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a creepy moment when suddenly he saw the X.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
He tends to do that. I want to know why the I don't know if y'all noticed this, and this isn't, I guess, have necessarily to do with Henry's part, but just how he made the exit sign just turn into an X. Mm-hmm. The other sign said restricted area, and then he cut it off to just say rest area. Why?
I think it was a ploy to get him into that room or something, or it was like a clue to bring him in there so he could see the video feed or something. It was it was a way to trigger him to react.
Yeah.
Whether his brain connected those words as really being a rest area, I don't know.
I mean,
Makes
he
sense.
did seem kind of tired.
He did.
Yep.
Hold up, let me get a nap in.
Before we move on to the whole big meltdown thing, just like Henry was on a scavenger hunt, we're on a scavenger hunt.
Oh, yeah.
We are.
We're hunting for the nation's best dancers, guys.
We are.
Yes.
You
My
found me.
dance
Show us what
We're
you
all
got.
here. It's like an Egyptian. I like it.
Ooh. Look at the moves.
I'm doing the best
shimmy.
with the space we've got.
Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Yeah, I know.
And
Sorry.
this is your chance to show us your moves. Our e-host Maria Menounos, our founder, is essentially starting a dance battle.
Woo! She's already started it, technically, right?
Yeah.
That's true.
She's been doing it.
It's getting brought to a whole nother level.
It's a whole new dance battle.
Oh yeah. And it's time for you to be a part of it. Oh yeah. All you gotta do is go to dancebattleamericacasting.com and show us your moves.
We want to see them.
Oh yeah.
I do.
And you could be on national television. It's a television special with Julianne Hough and Maria Menounos producing, and it's
Tauri.
your chance to be in the light. What?
All of a sudden,
Tauri.
the Kool-Aid Man is in the building.
Oh yeah. Awesome. So yeah, make sure to submit. It will be a short amount of your time, but it will be amazing. So submit to dancebattleamericacasting.com and potentially be a star. Just saying.
Dancing star.
A dancing star.
Hey, quick shout out to some folks in the chat right now. Hello to Eli Austin and Sylvia Love.
Oh, hey, Eli. Hey,
Hello.
So
Sylvia.
hello.
Hey, hello.
And thanks for chatting. I'll mention a couple of your comments when we get to the appropriate moment.
Yes. Don't lose track of those. So, let's talk about Sean and Maria for a second.
Yeah.
This man is on the lam. I'm still stuck in my read voice.
The dramatic reading.
Sean and Maria.
That's pretty good.
So they're making their way through the
Power plant or nuclear, whatever it is.
I keep trying to call it the meltdown.
The meltdown.
So they're making their way through, and she doesn't know why she's there, but Sean is telling her that she's there for a purpose.
Yep.
And so, as they're kind of sabotaging the plant, they get to a certain area, and Sean gives her the gun and says, "If I do something bad, you shoot me to death."
Why didn't you shoot him right? Shoot him in the arm at least. Shoot him in the leg. You can't run. Like, that's the first thought I had.
Yeah,
shoot
you
him in the
already
leg.
did something bad.
Right.
It was-
Retroactive shooting.
It was interesting in the sense that the minute where I feel like that thought was crossing her mind, he suddenly was having one of his seizures, and then thus it distracted her from that. Because I was actually thinking the same thing.
But
But
she got like G on him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, all right, I'm Colombian. You
gave me back my
gun. Like, oh, dang, girl. Doctor.
And then it was like suddenly he's having his freak out moment, and she didn't. She was like, "Okay, well, I don't know what to do with this."
Yeah.
Still shoot him in the leg.
I feel like that would have been like mean, extra mean. You're like, you're seizing. I'm gonna add insult to injury.
We don't look bad enough right now. He had kidnapped her for days and is taking her to a plant that's melting
true.
down. But I don't know. I would have shot him, I guess. But I feel like we still don't know her purpose. Do we know her purpose?
She was his safeguard.
Yeah.
But how?
Because he didn't think that, I think they were going to bombard them, like all those security guards. I think he thought he was going to have a moment where she could, in fact, be of use to shoot him, if necessary.
Yeah.
Okay.
But his plans were thwarted by the guys.
Security.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Which, that kind of surprised me, because he was, like, walking through doors and, like, barricading people in rooms.
And then all of a sudden they kind of got him?
Right, yeah. That part I was like, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
I was gonna ask, do you guys think that when he sees that he lost connection to Drill?
I think so, probably, because whenever we see him in the hospital earlier in the beginning of the season, he didn't have that connection. I forgot what happened to him. Oh, he had a seizure.
Right.
Remember, standing outside of the fence. So maybe it's like, I mean, obviously...
That's like the disconnection
Yeah.
indicator.
the like energy is so high or whatever happens, and he has a seizure and then goes out for a little bit. But it could also, this kind of just popped into my mind, maybe it could also be a way, like the reason why that happened right then is because Henry wasn't to the tube yet to get him to stop the thing. Like, so maybe it's like a time thing.
Or even because he was, his kind of true personality was coming through a bit, that he still like has a good heart in there. And he's like, I know something bad's going to happen and I can't control it. So if I do something bad, shoot me, which is kind of like a tender moment of his like real character coming out. So could it be that it's Drill's way of being like, oh gosh, he's gonna sabotage my plans,
Right.
I like that, actually.
I do too.
I mean,
Smart.
yeah, because as much as he's a puppet, he still has his own will.
Yeah, and he goes in and out of that, being controlled and being himself.
Yeah.
I
agree with it. It just, I guess the struggle I have right now is him connecting to his family and like why. So he's like rational in some ways about what's going on, but he's still not, like his mind isn't connecting to. Although I don't know,
he doesn't have his memories, right?
He looked like he did recognize his son a little bit.
I thought he looked more like he recognized Claire.
Really?
Yeah. Just the way he kind of like grabbed, or I forget like whose hand grabbed whose or whatever, but sorry, I'm like all over the place right now.
Then the awkward family hug.
Oh, I'm part of this. Okay, all right, this is happening. This is happening. Yeah.
I totally agree. I was like Lily Raven, like an American Horror Story moment. Like it was like, here we are. Yeah.
Who knows?
I mean, and so I like that well, I was hoping his chat with Wes was going to be a little more, like, I guess, dramatic.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he doesn't know who Wes is, so he can't be like, you slept with my wife!
Right.
He's all on mission, so that made me sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in that moment, so when Wes is finally questioning him after the security guards randomly found him, it's the way he was reacting too was different than he has reacted, because just being like, I don't know, and I saw him. Oh my gosh! I thought of something for predictions just now.
Nice.
Sorry, my mind's everywhere. No, I got it. I will remember. But I don't know. I just thought he was acting kind of strange, but then there was the freak out right after. I mean, I guess he acts strange all the time. So.
Right. I mean, he was definitely very erratic, and I think it's because he knows that he believes that he's either impeding or helping this plan, and he thinks that as long as he's in captivity, like everything is going to go to poop. Everything's going to go to poop.
We know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, and I guess it kind of does for a little while, but they fix it.
Right. He
Not
like
really.
not judo. He like finagles his way out of that prison like a baller.
He shoots a cop. Gets his gun somehow.
Because he's like, I mean, he is a soldier.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not his first rodeo. I imagine he's kind of like Jason Bourne in that he still has all those reflexes and stuff.
Yeah. So the thing that's happening this entire time is that the plant the water's gonna go down and it's gonna blow up. Is what they think, right?
Right. So essentially, it's going to release a bunch of radiation unless they can keep it under a certain temperature. And then the main pipe that usually regulates this was faulty.
Right.
And then the backup pipe also goes down when Drill takes out the power. So essentially, they have to flood
it.
they have
Flood
to
it
flood
to
the
cool
reactor.
it down. Yeah, so it doesn't.
And this is a problem because Henry is in
He's
the tube, in the
inside
pipes.
tube. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't a problem. Well, yes, it was a problem.
Not that much of a problem.
It was a problem until his daddy
yeah.
rescued him.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it was a problem. It wasn't a problem for everyone else.
No, right.
But it was a problem
was
for like
still a
him
problem.
dying. I mean, yeah.
I thought, no, I didn't see any of that. Like, I couldn't tell what was going to go down.
Me either.
Yeah, well, I mean, it seemed like he was going to get washed away and drown little Henry and stuff. And I'm like, gosh, this
No.
seems so early to have, like, such a big, dramatic moment like
Yeah.
this.
I didn't think he was going to die only because we've seen in the previews like more of him. But the whole time I'm like, so clearly he has to get out of this somehow. But I was not expecting Sean to come in and shut the little thing.
No, I thought
Right.
he was going to see Claire somehow and, like, climb somewhere or do something
Yeah.
quick.
I like that it was only one like door that had to be closed,
Yeah.
right? Like,
no
situation like that.
Like-
Just one small like.
Yeah, it's like,
boop, we're
Right.
good.
No security code or
No.
override system.
Just a chain,
Just
like-
manual.
Yeah, pretty much.
Manual.
I thought that was so funny.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
you would think there'd be like 7 people who have to enter codes
Yeah, yeah.
to override the cooling mechanism. Come on.
you could assume
Based
that
on what's going to
maybe-
happen if it doesn't happen.
right.
Maybe he was closing all the other ones and Henry's was last.
Maybe.
You know?
Or they were doing it in the trailer because they were like, all right, all systems go.
Right.
No,
guys
but they
in
weren't
jail.
shutting it down. They wanted the water.
They
to
wanted
keep
the
happening.
water.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, forget, scratch that.
So, do you guys think that Henry was essentially just there to delay them from flooding the reactor? I can't form words, guys.
Well, they said, if Henry hadn't been there, his dad wouldn't have gone there to save him, essentially, so he wouldn't have shut off the water.
Well, he didn't go to save him, though.
Right.
He only went to shut down the water because it was part of Drill's plan.
Yeah, so it was like an inadvertent. You're right.
I mean, it was
so
all
it's
part
all
of the plan.
part of they're on the same end game, essentially, but,
But
yeah,
they don't
it was
realize
to
he-
delay it.
Yeah.
most
But
likely.
maybe Henry was there because of, Drill knew that the rest of the team would figure out a quicker way to
Right.
do it. But then when they didn't delay it that much because of him. But, ultimately
like-
they did delay it some.
Drill's
Right.
tapping into those emotions. He
Right.
knows people will stop following protocol.
Part of me thinks because honestly, they could have, or whatever, the higher beings could have had that flooded, or I feel like Drill could have manipulated whatever he wanted to have happened, but I do think he's being honorable to the promise to Henry, and for whatever reason he's standing behind his, if you do what I tell you, I'm going to reunite you with your father.
Right.
He needs them.
Well, and I think it's some part not to get too cerebral here, but some part of free will versus making these little kids do stuff. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to see how I can plant these seeds and how much I can manipulate them to do what I want them to do without me actually forcing them to do what I
Right.
want them to do. So it's like a game to Drill.
Yeah.
It is a game.
See ya.
All right, and show is over. See you guys later. No. So I feel like we would be remiss if we didn't talk about the sparks flying between
My favorite part.
Claire and Wes.
Yeah.
So
I loved it. Well, obviously he's a married man, so that's not good. But
Right.
just the way, so what's happening is Henry, they know he's in the pipes. Claire wants to go in. They're like, no, full meltdown. You can't go. And she's like, I'm going anyway. And that's when he looks at her. I forget, or she says, he's all that I have left.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, it's not. Or no, not all. And I'm like, I wish you were saying that in your real accent, but okay. It was a dreamy little moment.
And even before, when it was still daylight and they're meeting in the, whatever van thing, trailer thing, he touches her and is like, "Are you okay?" And it's very clear, you are crossing those lines of physical contact.
Yeah.
Even if it's a little tap and we're in front of people we work with, it was still
it was like a tummy tap. I know. I saw
her
it.
abdomen.
You know what's weird is because I'm a Barry Sloane fan and I've seen him on other things and I've seen his chemistry with other people. And don't get me wrong, I love Lily Rabe. I don't feel chemistry between their characters.
Well,
I
think
did a
that
little bit
means
tonight.
we're just gonna have to see a sex scene, flashback. Current time thing. Gonna have to convince us.
Am I alone in that though?
They don't.
No.
I
ahead.
agree.
No, you go ahead. That
I
was
really
my
think they
They don't
necessarily
have
makes sense.
chemistry. I'm not getting any of it.
They're not supposed to. I mean, because
Yes, they are.
They are, but they aren't. She's supposed to be resisting her feelings for him.
But I'm not getting that either.
Yeah,
I'm not
so
getting
you just-
resisting of. I'm just getting meh.
You exist, and we once did stuff.
Yeah,
Like that.
that's
Okay.
what I'm getting. Exactly that. Yeah.
I'm getting
Who are
more
you?
so than that, but not full on super hot chemistry.
Okay.
And tonight is when I feel like I experienced the most, but maybe that's just because it's a natural chemistry thing. Their faces are close. He's looking at her, saying not whatever, and then he's banging the ground, Claire, because he thinks he's gonna lose her.
trying really hard.
Yeah.
And he's got a lot of emotion
he
going
is
toward it.
emoting
Yeah.
very.
Emoting, yes.
I love you, Barry.
Emote away.
Hashtag Barry's the best.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Aw.
But I think it'll grow. I think if we see a little some, then maybe so.
Little something.
Yeah, but it's also a very emotional,
A very
thing.
emotional?
A very
No,
she didn't.
We went there.
Because the girls, her son's in here, probably about to die. So how much chemistry can we really see?
just
I
not
wanna say-
now.
I completely agree with
Think
you.
about the Titanic and Leo and Kate at the end, and he's like, "I'm just hanging on for you," or whatever.
so
I mean,
hot,
chemistry, right? That's chemistry. That you feel that. I
Yeah.
wasn't feeling that between the both of them.
I feel so
Yeah.
much chemistry. I'm gonna let you die.
Yeah, you have no
Goodbye.
choice.
Maybe they'll convince
Anyway.
us more.
Maybe
Yeah.
not the best example, but that's what came to mind in this moment.
I mean,
We'll
not to
see.
get into predictions. Do you guys think that they're gonna end up together, or what do you guys see for their relationship?
I see some secretive stuff happening.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm really being thrown by this whole what's going to happen, especially now that Sean is
Back in the picture.
sort of back in the. We don't even know.
Because she did seem so happy to see him. That
yeah.
whole hug and everything.
Yeah.
Well, she thought he was dead. So.
True.
True, but
You're not
kinda
dead.
But no, I get what you mean though.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know either. That's a
I
good
mean,
question.
obviously it's going to be teased throughout the whole rest of the season.
right.
Right.
I don't know
Yeah.
that will necessarily, maybe a kiss
Yeah.
somewhere in a dark corner.
Or
but-
maybe a flashback.
Or a flashback.
And then we'll get something super
some
hot.
action.
I kind of want someone totally new because I feel like even he and his wife don't have any chemistry.
well,
There's
she's
way
just so,
too many, it's all wrapped up. It's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
weird. Overlapping.
I think their relationship it feels kind of cold because her character is written to be kind of
Totally,
cold,
just
if
like-
that makes
Right.
sense. She's very
she's very
with her
business.
white skirt, with her button up tucked in. She's very. So
What was that?
and he's very so it's just a little, I don't know. We'll see.
Right. I mean, and they're in a very contentious state at the moment. So
Right. And they
it's hard
have
for
a
them to be
crazy
like-
kid.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All
Yeah.
right. All right.
But so the last thing I'd like to talk about, actually the second to last thing, because I just want to say that I really enjoy Rollins' character.
Me too.
He's really cool. One, because he's not like a super hindrance to like our main characters. He tries to work with them as much as possible. He takes the time to try to just understand what's going on. And he did Wes a solid, and I liked that.
I did too, actually.
Yeah.
I was very appreciative of that moment.
I like that a lot too, because I feel like we've seen from the last few episodes, he's been a bit combative, and
Yes.
there's tension definitely between him and Claire, and So that was like, he's kind of crossing over and warming up to the team. Obviously, it's like literally was a life or death type situation. So, you budge a little in those moments. But I definitely was like, ooh, yeah, Rollins. Good call. Nice. I see what you did there, sneaky.
Yeah. Sweet. I was into it.
Nice.
I was like, you're getting points back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
And you didn't have many left, so
You're lucky back at 0.
you needed some points. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So he's my
Character of the week.
Character of the week, Rollins. But finally, we had the reactor explode, but all of the energy went away.
I know.
But how?
I don't know.
But how?
That's why I turned to you, Tauri, to tell us what happened.
We're literally like, sorry.
I mean,
Look, he's gonna put his hand on his head. He's like, and let me tell you all what I believe to have happened.
my thinking man pose.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we've hypothesized that Drill is kind of like an energy vampire. Mm-hmm. What he needs the energy for, if he's composed of the energy, we're not really sure. But the idea is that maybe at a certain point he needs more energy than he can get from like power lines and the assorted electronics that he uses to manipulate people. And so my thought was that his whole plan was to get the reactor to release so much energy that he can absorb to sustain him for a longer period of time.
Right.
Or
do
that sounds
something,
reasonable.
or redirect that energy in some way to do something really bad.
Yeah.
Right.
I concur with that.
Yeah.
And so does Eli Austin, because he said Drill feeds off the nuclear energy.
Yes.
Yes, we think you're right. We
Yep.
do.
If we just don't know what he is feeding off the energy for.
Did any of you pick up on the fact that they called, or Sean referred to Drill or whatever as he's here? He's here?
That has something to do with my prediction.
Oh, okay. All right. Because I was like,
But now it doesn't make as much sense, so maybe I won't say
well,
it.
right. Like, I don't remember from previous episodes if whatever it was referenced as a he or a she.
No, I think that maybe they said he.
I believe the kids have referred to Drill as a
think as a
he.
he.
Yeah.
I believe so.
But
So it's
not
a him?
as like
Or
a.
just by name. I'm not really sure.
Yeah. But not as like a he's here, like as in you physical person is here.
I thought that he's here was in reference to Henry. When he was staring at the monitors, he was like, oh, he's here.
That's. I think
guess
that's what.
possible.
Well,
that's possible too.
That is also part of my prediction. I think of it as
You're like, stop talking about that.
Yeah.
I think he was referring to Drill because it was whatever Wes had asked him. It was like, who are you helping? And that's when he said, he's here. He's here.
Oh,
He's in the,
yes,
I think
yes,
he
yes,
literally
yes.
said he's in the building or something like that.
Oh, yeah, I've seen him.
I've seen him, yeah. So, and then, but the way they did the camera or the next shot was Henry. So I think it has something like Drill is kind of acting through Henry in a way.
Or Drill was with Henry, following him along the the scavenger hunt.
Right. Interesting.
That was my
Henry
prediction.
is Drill.
Henry is maybe.
Drill.
I mean, he like completely changed his hearing.
Yeah.
He was in, right spot at the right time. I don't know.
I feel like it's a good time to jump into predictions.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was failing you.
That was my prediction. That Drill is somehow acting through Henry. So yeah.
Nice.
You're like, and I'm done.
Wiping it clean.
Yes.
I'm done. Well, we can start with someone in chat. Glorified Gleek says, Wes definitely still has feelings for Claire. Nothing about Claire gives me the impression that she wants to be with him. I agree. I can totally see Claire wanting Sean back, especially now she knows he's good and saved their son.
Is he good? Glorified Gleek.
I don't know.
He did save their son, but I don't think he knew he was saving their son.
Right.
Yeah.
That's...
Because he was like, Daddy. He's like, what?
Oh, wait.
the?
Who is it?
Sorry, I lied to you. Lanavis 1 said Auntie saved their son.
Ah, okay.
Yes. But right. No. Yeah, I don't know. I think he was closing the floodgates.
Yeah.
And it was like, his son was there.
Yeah.
Right.
Because he didn't embrace his son. His son embraced
Him.
Right.
And we know that he has amnesia, so, I mean, he doesn't necessarily know, we don't know if he will know.
Wait,
What?
we totally didn't address the fact that now Claire knows her son can hear.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Yes.
Sorry, we need to, like, just at least...
And now she officially knows that he's involved with Drill.
Yeah.
Right.
She's creeped out for sure.
She was so creeped out.
Like, he couldn't hold it back. He had to exclaim,
They were hurting his
Don't
father.
hurt him.
Yeah.
She's like, what?
Whoa! And who are you? Yeah. Big deal.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be an interesting... Okay, this is how we lead into predictions. I think that is going to be a very interesting item for next week. Because
Yeah.
I think now Claire is suddenly... Now that her son is involved with Drill, now she's got even more stakes in the whole game of what's going on. So I think that that's going to be a major thing. And I also think it's going to be interesting to see kind of how the whole Sean storyline plays in now. Because if he's in custody... And actually, the whole, like, when he was handcuffed the first time, I thought it was very strange that he wasn't, like, able to just get out of them. Because he can, like, unlock doors, and I was like, you can't just...
Right.
I don't know. That was weird to me. But anyway, he's probably back in handcuffs now, so
Right.
I think it's going to be interesting, now that he's being held somewhere, what that interaction is going to be, because I think we're going to see a sit-down between Claire and Sean.
Who
Which
knows?
would be exciting.
Oh,
What do you got for us, Lauren?
Gosh, you guys, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, obviously we know Sean's in custody. I don't know if we're going to get a whole lot from him. I feel like he's going to still be very kind of cryptic about everything, and then we're not going to get some good answers out of him. And we do see that we have Alina and Claire, they talk. And I don't know if it's a prediction necessarily, but like I kind of want to see like a face-to-face, like
Me too.
Yeah.
drama
Yes.
situation
That'd
between
be great.
them.
Totes. I support that.
Yeah.
I do.
I want to see how... I think Henry and Claire's relationship is going to be different now that she knows that he can hear, because he was lying to her.
Right.
And now this child who she thought, we have no secrets, we tell each other everything. Now she knows, no, he's been lying to me. I mean, maybe she won't like get on to him or whatever, but it kind of changes the game, because surely she's gonna like question him just as she's questioned every other child.
Yes.
And as far as like why he's involved with Drill and what he did and la la la. But I don't know. We'll see. Because we see in the previews, like, lots of creepy-ish looking stuff from Henry, but...
Yeah. And he's kind of being treated like a terrorist the same way that Sean is. At the end of the episode, she's saying that he wasn't involved, but they're basically kind of almost putting him in handcuffs.
Right. And where do we go from here as far as, like, okay, he has his dad back, so what's the next prize?
Yeah.
Right.
And
But he's locked
he's
up, so
right.
maybe that's still going to be something he can persuade him to act on.
Yeah.
All the geniuses, well, I'm saying that in a complimentary way, but in chat, they're saying that because the doors had electric locks, Todd Price said this, and one Lanavis one said, the handcuffs don't depend on electricity, so that's maybe why they didn't just open. And that's
Got it.
very intelligente. Yes.
Cool.
That makes sense.
Sure.
Yes, thank you. Cheers to that. Sorry. Okay,
right.
and now you, Tauri. Did you predict anything?
I mean, you guys really ran the gambit, so you covered everything that I could ever want. I will say that I think that the next step, I think that we're going to see Drill in the next couple episodes. If not the whole being, we're going to start seeing more like shadows and shades of him, or it, because I mean, I feel like now we've built to a point where they can't just kind of have it be this disembodied figure. It has to be now a player in this game.
Do we think maybe that there might be another adult that comes into play? Because obviously he recruits, not every child, but specific children, and more children than adults, because as we know so far, Sean's the only one who's been able to communicate with him. So
Right.
do we think he might venture into more adults.
Might have to.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
All right.
I wonder.
We will see.
Yeah.
So until next week, thank you for joining us here on AfterBuzz TV, the Whispers After Show. Remember, if you like, subscribe, comment. We read them, we respond. Keep tweeting at us because we love hearing from you. And we're going to go down the line. April, what's your stuff?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at April Whisenhant.
You can find me, Alison Dean, at the Alison Dean.
And you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, Periscope, all of them at Lauren Salaun.
Awesome. And you can find me on Twitter at Tauri J. It's TAURIJAY. Thanks again for joining us. And until next week, you know the drill.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.